Hello, it's Tuesday, and it's time to look at what I've been doing. Guess what? It's the same models as last week. It is. So, oops, and I'm knocking them over already. Where's one new model, I guess? Oh my gosh. Could I stop? So, here's Captain Broderick. He's changed since last week. I have done the red casing on him here, on the gun. I started repainting his fingernails. Going with a darker green on that, need to do some touch-ups. Base coated some areas, painted his boot. His head comes off now so that I could paint the collar behind it. And I repainted this Space Marine helmet into the correct shade of blue for Crimson Fists. That's pretty much it. He's not had a lot of work done on him, as I have been mostly busy with Deathwatch and Fire Slayers this week. I've basically been painting him whenever I had paint that is the right colour for what I want to do next on him, or something I want to do on him on the palette, which is pretty much all the time, because there's always something. There's so many different colours on this model. There's always something on the palette that I'm able to do with him. Word of advice for anyone that is assembling this: this is the Finecast guy, the Finecast version, not the metal one. But do not glue the head on, and do not glue the boss pole on when you're painting it. You can get away with gluing this arm on, but again, I'd suggest not to, because it's really difficult to get like in there. You can see that yellow line's not very good. Okay, don't look at it too closely. And down in there is an absolute nightmare to get your paintbrush into. Yeah, that's really hard to get in there. So yeah, don't glue the head on, don't glue the boss pole on, don't glue this arm on. This is fine. I can't even remember if this comes off. I don't think it does. It might do. He comes in a fair few bits, if memory serves. So that's Broderick. I finished one Deathwatch Marine, the test model, the poster boy for the Painting Deathwatch series, which is not the model you're going to learn to paint, but it's the model that I've got ready in time to do for the Painting Black Armor video, which I'm probably going to go and edit after doing this video. I'm going to edit that footage together and get that up sometime this week. So we've got a tutorial coming, and you will be watching me paint this chap here, whose head is lying around somewhere. I only know that it's this guy because I haven't done the red stripe on his knee pad yet, and I have on everyone else. So yeah, I repainted this shoulder pad with a green trim because it's more classically Mentor's. I just kind of preferred it. He's had a varnish on him now, so it's a satin varnish. It came out glossy at first, but it seems to have dulled down now. And yeah, I did his base. For the record, that is just a couple of pieces of slate which I've painted and dry brushed, and then some Valhalla and Blizzard from Games Workshop for the basing material. It's kind of blowing out on this on here. Let's see if we can get it to readjust the... Well, that's not much better. Yeah, some Valhalla and Blizzard on the base with some crushed glass. Just kind of dunk it in some crushed glass from Secret Weapon. That's this stuff here. Secret Weapon Z-Nex crushed glass. It's great stuff. It makes it look a bit more shiny and a little bit wetter than the Valhalla and Blizzard stuff from GW on its own does. So that's that guy. So that means I've also gotten most of the way done with the rest of the Deathwatch. So I've done their red knee pads. Their helmets are all done. Just on the torsos, I pretty much just have the bandoliers, I guess. These pouches, the dagger blades, and the lighting effects, like the lenses on the eyes, the lens on the bionic eye, and the little light effect that I do up here. So that's pretty much it. On the torsos for these guys, there's another one. Done all the purity seals on all of them. And the Iron Hands guy as well. I've done his little number one, his knee pad. started painting the Iron Hands guy's head. Just kind of working on the bionics at the moment. The fleshy side's done. And I've also got their arms knocking about down here, like I've got a Blood Angel's shoulder pad. White Minotaurs. Needs a lot of touch up, that one. That's the arm for the Iron Hands guy. So yeah, still working, still plodding through that. I should have them all done this week. I've also added this guy because if you watch my review of the Rosemary & Co brushes, I painted up another Deathwatch guy with some edge highlighting on them with that brush. There'll be a thing popping up there where you can go watch that. And yeah, so I've done this guy. He's an Imperial Fist. I painted his shoulder pad. Painted up his Purity Seal. And I've painted his Frag Cannon. And you still need to finish off the shells here. They just need some edge highlighting going on. So, yeah. And his other arm's done. I still need to do his backpack. Edge highlighting and such like that. I want to do the metallics for these extra clips up here first, and these because it's going to be dirty. I'm going to be dry brushing some of that stuff. So that's an extra frag cannon that I've got in my Deathwatch Army. My grand total of frag cannons is now up to 1 with this guy. I've also done the skin on the Fire Slayers that I stripped. This guy needs his wash. He's going to do that on camera. And also paint his beard and plumage on camera so that they catch up. But the other guys, I've already caught up with that, so you can see their skin has already had the wash. Will it focus? Yeah. Yeah, their skin's already been washed, and their beard's already painted. Some touch-up required still on those areas, but it's not much. And, no. Yeah, so coming along with those guys. Again, done nothing on the actual leader, because he's going to be the one that I do the rest of the painting on afterwards. That's mostly it for painting. I mean, I get painting related. I painted these. When you own an airbrush and you have a girlfriend who's going to a wedding soon, you get to do their nails. So these are just acrylic nails from Tesco, which I airbrush over a gradient onto, and then give them a top coat of the old nail varnish. It's not a lot of work, and it's a lot cheaper than going to a professional and getting your nails done. These need buffing up with a buffing pad or a second coat. They're a bit grimy already. It was a busy week for me at work this week, so I had to get an update out for my game, so I spent most of my time doing that rather than doing any extra painting. I only get to paint like maybe 2 days a week. I spent all day yesterday painting, which is why I didn't do the vlog. I did most of this Deathwatch stuff yesterday, and all of these beards on these guys yesterday. If you want to know what I do for a living, I make video games. On my own. I'm an independent video games developer. And I've got a video game that's in early access on Steam right now. And it's where I make all my money from, such as it is. And if you're interested, I'll put some footage on the screen around here, and you can go check it out. And that would be great, because then you can say, hey, that guy paints models, and he makes video games. And I'll be like, yay, thank you. And you could buy it, and then I won't be poor anymore. Because I don't want to make making YouTube videos my career. This is just something I do for fun. I'm looking at starting a Patreon with a per video donation, which will just be per tutorial made and uploaded. Let me know if you think that's a good idea in the comments. Also, let me know what you've been working on this week. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Follow me on the social medias and send me pictures of all the stuff that you've been working on. Doesn't have to be stuff from my tutorials. I'm just interested to see what other people work on, and it's always cool to share projects with each other and give each other encouragement. So that's it. I'm an Imperial Fist. but I don't have any arms. Oh no. Bye.